Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you have time, please give this video a thumbs up. Pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Now, let's get it talking. Let me tell you something, right? This woman asked me the other day, she's a Virgo, and she's really funny. She told me that she's in a relationship with this guy who's an Aquarius. And she said, Queen, I only have one question. And whenever somebody tells me that, I know it's about to be a doozy. So I'm like, brace yourself, here it comes. And she said, I have one question. Is my Aquarius trolling me? And I was like, is he trolling you? What do you mean, is he trolling you? And she was like, girl, my Aquarius always, in my opinion, talking shit. And I started laughing as soon as she said that, because people say that about me all the time. On Asking Aquarius, not as much, because on Asking Aquarius, I'm very careful to be politically correct. I don't want people to get their feelings hurt whenever possible, because it still happens anyway. But I try to be politically correct, and I try to keep my jokes to a minimum, because some people are sensitive. And she was like, she said that, and I bust out laughing, because that's true. People tell me all the time I got jokes, and two of the things they say, you got jokes, and you always talking shit. They're the two things people tell me, especially my family. So anyway, she was saying this to me about her dude. And I was like, I was just laughing. And I was like, so what makes you think this, Trying to get some further information on what really is making her say this. And she said, well, the bottom line is that he has this tendency, she said, to say little smart shit under his breath, or he has this tendency, to make faces, and then she'll ask him, is he being smart or whatever the case is, and he'll just smile and act like he didn't say nothing, or no, I didn't say nothing, that kind of thing. And she said, Queen, I really think he be talking shit. I really think that he be trolling me, maybe, in jest, but still I know he's doing it. And she said, do Aquarius do things like that? Do Aquarius talk shit? Do they have, do they have little smart mouths and, sarcasm and say things under their breath? And I was like, yeah, that's very common. If you're an Aquarius or an Aquarius and you do this kind of thing, please drop us a comment in the comment section, because I think it's common. I know a lot of Aquarius that do this, and I do it myself. But remember, like I said, I've talked about this before on this channel. People are sensitive, okay? A lot of people nowadays, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but a lot of people are very sensitive nowadays. Something you could say, 20 years ago, if you say it today, is politically so incorrect. A joke. I hear comedians get in trouble all the time because they said something that was inappropriate. And sometimes it is inappropriate. And sometimes it's just a joke. So I've listened to both sides of this, and I'm like, you have to be very careful in this day and age. But the truth is, yes, Aquarius do have that tendency to have jokes. Aquarius had a tendency to say a little smart shit. Aquarius had a tendency to say stuff under their breath. Aquarius are sarcastic, but a lot of times, unless you're dealing with an Aquarius with a negative vibration, most of the time it's in jest. Most of the time it is not malicious. It's just jokes. People always say that to me, like, you always talking smack, and I'll be cracking up. I'll be cracking up, because to me it's just jokes, And when people say things about me, I crack up. People say things to me all the time that make me laugh. It's just how they said it. A person can tell you the same thing in two different tones, and I can laugh at one and not think one is funny. Okay? So my thing is that yes, Aquarius do have that tendency to be sarcastic and to do those kind of things. And usually it's in jest. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. And that's what I was telling her. I was like, he's probably not trying to hurt your feelings. You know, that's why he's not repeating it. Because he probably knows, or he probably did it before, or he said something and you didn't think it was funny. Might have been something y'all argued about, or something that you gave him the side eye about. And he decided, you know what, let me curb this with her because she doesn't like it. So for me, I think personally it's sweet of him. I think it's very sweet of him to consider your feelings and not do it, you know, or try to hold it back or try to be quiet about it or whatever the case is, knowing that it is part of his nature 9 times out of 10, but it's something that bothers you. So I applaud him for that. You know, I applaud anybody who goes against their own nature to try to be considerate to other people in a manner that's not killing them. You know, this is not going to kill him. You know, it's not going to kill him not to be sarcastic. But I will tell you one thing. As an Aquarius, that's a relationship that would be very iffy for me because I can't be myself. If I have to constantly, and you said you guys haven't been together that long, and I'm like, if I have to constantly monitor my thoughts and monitor what I say, and if it's really bad and you're really, really sensitive, that's a relationship I would really reconsider. So you got to think about that too. Because it's not that you should change. It's not that you shouldn't be so sensitive as people will tell you. It's not really that. It's just the fact that if you're with somebody who you know is sarcastic by nature, then it's going to be a clash. It's going to be an incompatibility is my point. Because as much as he's trying to be respectful, as much as he's trying not to troll, as much as he's trying not to say anything smart, that urge, that, you know, that urge in him, over time he's going to get irritated with having to hide and not be his authentic self with the person. And he's an Aquarius, so a lot of Aquarius, I've seen people live entire lives that was a lie. I mean, the whole life was a lie. But Aquarius are much more comfortable when we're open and honest, especially a high vibrational Aquarius. We don't like to have to hide things and not be ourselves and, you know, compartmentalize parts of ourselves that we actually think are cool, you know? So I'm thinking that in the long term, that could be a problem. And you both need to really be honest about that and think about it. Because if he's got mad jokes and he's always being sarcastic and always being funny, and he always has to hold that back, and you're really sensitive about it and it bothers you and you don't like it, y'all probably are not going to be able to make it long term, especially, like I said, if that's truly just part of his personality. Can you imagine trying to suppress a part of yourself? Like, let's imagine that you are somebody who met him and you're a painter, or you met him and you're a baker, you know, or you met him and you do something as part of your job or as part of your identity, or it's just your hobby. And you meet this person and that one thing about you, about your personality, they don't like. So you decide to suppress it or repress it to be in that relationship. That's usually a doomed relationship, especially if it truly is a part of you. And from what you said to me, this sounds like it's a part of him. It sounds like it's a part of his personality. So that may be a challenge at least. So you both need to be honest about it. I would talk to him about it, you know, because you said that when you say it to him, he's like, nah, you know, and snickers and smirks. I have an Aquarius friend that I'm extremely close to, and he trolls me all the time. And I'm telling you, with Aquarius, is not to hurt you, it's to poke at you. And he does it to me all the time. He pokes at me until I'm irked and like, if you don't leave me alone. He pokes at me until I get there because he likes it. I'm telling you, some Aquarius really like to get you there. And it's not, again, malicious. It's just, like I said, him being that trickster, you know, that coyote from mythology, that trickster energy. And a lot of us have, and I have that trickster energy. So when he does it to me, I know what he's doing. So I just, you know, I give him the eyes, right? And then I'm like, okay, all right. But I don't let him get a rise out of me, except for when my control isn't good that day. Some days my self-control is better than others. So think about what I said about your relationship compatibility, and I hope that everything goes well. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Pass it on to somebody else who might like it. And don't forget, if you want a reading done, email me and I'll give you a reading. Okay? See you later.